O.J. Simpson was directly responsible for the cancellation of Gargoyles, the animated TV show in the 90s.
Watch his video, okay? Gonna start right there. Watch his video. It's important. It does actually bring up some interesting points, especially to what it got me thinking about. I know we are in this point where television is dying and we're moving into 100% streaming. That is what it is. It seems to be the future. The future of television-esque media is streaming. In fact, I just had an interesting argument a little while ago with a buddy of mine who kept telling me, oh, I think I really like the new 10, 13 episode television format because it really forces them to focus on the story and not give us a bunch of filler. And I said, like what? And he was like, oh, like the Fallout series. Like, it's just every episode is good because they don't waste any time, and like all the money and everything is going into the CG and all that, so it never looks cheap. Like, remember Flash? Flash would sometimes look really cheap, and it had like episodes that didn't really matter that you could cut out like half the season, and like we could have just got to the same point. And I'm like, yeah, but that's not television. You're talking about streaming. It's a different monster altogether. It has different rules, and it showcases a different style. Part of the reason, this is all, of course, my own headcanon, part of the reason I think that we see things like 13 episodes and every single one of them really grabs you, or 10 episodes and it really grabs you, is because they have to get your attention and they have to hold it and they have to do it right now. There is not a time investment. There's not, you watched 40 episodes over the course of a very long time, coming in one episode at a time, one every other day or something like that. Or maybe Monday through Friday you watched this series, and then the series, like Power Rangers, just to put it down there. I'm wearing this shirt that made me think of that. So like Power Rangers, which you watched it for like 5 days, you took Saturday and Sunday off, or maybe they'd play reruns on those days or something like that. That was time investment. I remember watching Dragon Ball Z and becoming invested. Every day I came home, I was very curious where the Frieza fight was taking us next. Now, there's a chance that I would not be interested. Because now, when I turn on a show, it's a streaming show, I watch it, and I'm done, and I move on. And I don't put the same time investment into it. I just want to see the show, get through the show, figure out if I liked the show, and move on. And if your show was doing a whole lot of space filler crap, it's going to kill the show. But to circle back to what he was saying, because I do think this is interesting. He talked about, and like I said, watch his video. Excuse me, watch his video. Look, he talks about how the O.J. Simpson trial may have been a giant part of the cancellation of that show. Gargoyles was in a time slot where all the stations were covering the O.J. Simpson trial. And if you wanted the ratings, you had to put that trial, you had to cover it, you had to put the scenes, you had to do it. And because we're all in a ratings thing, everybody wants ratings. That's how TV was done. We're, of course, moving over and we're being like, here they are, here's the ratings, blah, blah, blah. Oh, this is in our way. Move it. Or you know what? Just play this part that we need to play, interrupt their show. People can catch it in a rerun or something. I don't care. Well, when people are watching a show that's important, that's designed a lot like streaming shows are today, where every episode is important and every episode tells the story, and if you missed even one, you were doomed. See, Gargoyles, strangely enough, was using a format that streaming now uses all the time. Every episode matters. Every episode is storyline. You can't miss one. miss, it's not an episodic thing. You miss one and you may never understand exactly what's going on, or you may miss a point that really hurts the next point they're going to bring up because now the slam factor isn't there, right? You're not like, oh, this thing happened, what are they going to do with that? Then they do the next thing, and if you didn't see the first thing, the impact from the first thing is not going to hit you, or rather the impact from the second thing won't hit you as hard because you didn't see the impact from the first thing. This is real, this is storytelling, this is compound storytelling. It's just like if you were to watch something like Jurassic Park and in the middle of the movie somebody walked up and said, hey, can you help me for a second? Just like old TV, right? And you go over and you help somebody do something for like a half an hour and come back and you've never seen Jurassic Park. So now there's a half an hour missing and you're like, why is this guy like driving all over the place in the rain? I don't understand what's happening. Well, you missed the impact moment where he shuts the park down. And then he goes and he takes all the embryos and then he tries to get away with the embryos. If you miss that, it affects the entirety of the narrative. And these streaming shows are now built like long movies. Now, I think this is absolutely fantastic. I think that streaming shows have a higher brand of quality than we've seen in television for a long time because everything in television is formula. It has been for years. And this guy's video really puts it out there that that formula could work against you on television. I have a feeling that Gargoyles came out too early because a situation like this doesn't affect modern day consumption of media. If all this trial stuff is happening, right? Just for argument purposes, the O.J. Simpson trial never happened. It happens today. We're in a world of streaming. Your services like Paramount or Amazon or Netflix or Hulu or Disney or Max or whatever, these formats would offer a live tab where you could go in and you could see things about the trial. But it doesn't offset or stop anything else that you're watching. So you would watch it and you would say, oh my God, this is wild. And you would watch all your trial stuff and everything like that. And you would go, this is crazy. I can't believe it. Yada, yada, whatever. And maybe you'd talk about it. That's your water fountain talk, right? Everybody's watching that. But when you're done with the live updates, you just go back to the show you were watching and you missed nothing. Nothing was interrupted. Nothing was damaged. It all runs at your pace, and you don't have a time investment. You could knock out a single season of Gargoyles in one drop. Bow, 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 done. Watched it all. Which you'll notice that certain streaming services are starting to play time investment again. We're seeing things like X-Men 97 is one that's out right now that everybody's watching right now. Well, it seems like everybody's watching it. I love it regardless. X-Men 97 comes out and they're like, hey, one episode every Wednesday, be here or miss it. And everybody's going to be talking about it. So you don't want to miss it. Now, instead of a series that we would have knocked out in a single sitting, like Masters of the Universe Revelation. I watched the 10 episodes. By the time I watched it, it was 10 episodes. I knocked them out in like a day. Done. I loved it. But it was done that fast, and then I moved on to something else. You can't do that with X-Men now. Every episode you now watch, and it sits with you for a while. For an entire week, you have to wonder what's next. What was the ramification of that episode? Do I watch it again? Do I put it in my head a second time because now we're moving to the next episode and I don't want to have missed details? Like, that was so good, and it was only one episode. It was only like 20 minutes. Maybe I'll go back and I'll check it out again. This is time investment. This is investing in a series over time, which makes it feel like it was a bigger deal than maybe it really was. It really got me thinking about all this and how television has changed so much, or the consumption of media has changed so much, because when television is still playing out the same formula, you can see the difference where I'm talking, right? It's just interesting. I saw this guy's video and it really got me thinking about how much it's changed and what it really does affect. Something to think about.